Taylor Swift is considered to be a megastar right now, but she's pulling in a tiny fraction of what Metallica pulls in. And that is the celebrity superstar of the day. And she gets nowhere near. Like, what was that video from the 90s of Metallica playing in Germany or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
There's like 15 million people or something.
So many people, yeah.
What was it?
Russia, yeah, it was Russia.
It was Russia?
Where's Phil when you need him? You need Phil to talk about that.
It was Russia for sure, yeah. I can't remember how many people were there, but it was like a lot of fucking people. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. There's a lot of people there.
In 1991.
91, yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's wild. So we might be reaching the point.
1.6 million people in attendance.
This might be like a natural process of the physical world that's happening right now, to be honest. Because if you think about like the counterbalance between nuclear fusion and gravity in a star, it's what holds it together, right? Well, it continues to explode. At some point, it gets dysregulated, turns to iron in the core, and it blows up, or it becomes a red giant. Whatever happens, right? I think we're seeing some decentralization in media that isn't planned. It's just happening as a natural result of there's too much. There's too much. So nobody's going to watch. Nobody in your lifetime is going to watch 1 day's worth of YouTube.
No.
It's 720,000 hours a day. You won't watch that much in your entire lifetime. Nobody will, right?
I mean, most people aren't going to be able to do that with regular entertainment.
Exactly.
The thing I laugh about, people are like, we need to make great new shows. I'm like, bro, there is enough stuff out there from the last 30 years that you could watch everything. You wouldn't be able to watch everything if you tried.
Right. But the scale's way different now.
Yeah.
So that's the problem we're having. Our brains were not it didn't evolve to be constantly impacted by attention and media like this. So what's the natural reaction for a human being? I'm going to narrow my focus down and just look at this. So to your fans, Tim, you are a celebrity, right? And you always will be, even though it's not what Michael Jordan was at any given point. And it never will be again, probably. I think you're right about that. And I think it's also affecting our modalities of communication. We've gone in this big circle where we started out around a campfire listening to the wise old dude tell stories about our ancestors. And then we kind of graduated to sitting around a campfire, listening to somebody read from a book after the printing press. And then we went to sitting around a radio, listening to Louis L'Amour and C.S. Lewis and Tolkien serialize their content on the radio. And then we sat around the television listening to the president. But now there's too much. There's not 3 channels anymore. There's 1 million.
So Taylor Swift, her largest show ever, 96,006 attendees. Metallica, 1.6 million.
That's how many were at that Russian show? 1.6?
1.6 million.
Good Lord.
To be fair, however, looking it up, after the Black Album tour, Wherever We May Roam, Metallica was getting 40,000 plus, many around 60,000. Taylor Swift currently does around 60,000. So,
Similar.
comparable. Yeah.
And what you're saying about celebrities are a result of institutions. So when you say Michael Jordan, the institution is basketball, or LeBron James. When we talk Michael Jackson, you're talking about the music industry, which are built up by large-scale companies that put millions of dollars into this one individual because the return on investment is very, very high around that one person. Now you have institutions like platforms, which would be like YouTube here, where somebody can, in a decentralized manner, build up a following of their own, but it's fractured compared to the size of it.
It also tracks with what we value as a civilization, not the sport or the type of entertainment, but the type of person. Because we go from, I guess people like Jimmy Stewart, who interrupted his career multiple times to go serve in the U.S. military, or Bob Feller or Ted Williams or Joey D, all these guys that left highly successful entertainment careers, that's what athletics are, to go serve their country somewhere. We went from that to the Kardashians over the course of 40, 50 years. And, they're out there on the hustle. They're making their money. No hate, I guess. But, if you, as a society, admire people who, to your point from earlier, who sacrifice to something greater than themselves versus just looking in the mirror. We wrote a story about this. It's called Narcissus. It's where the word came from. He looked in the water so much at his own reflection that he turned into flowers, right? That's not a guidebook. That's a warning. You know what I mean?
So I think maybe what we should do is seize all of the big tech platforms, and then what we do is alter the algorithms to only the only channels that do well will be firefighters, police, EMTs, and U.S. service personnel. So you will get a little bit of music here and there, but all the kids growing up are going to see.
Elvis was in the Army.
Indeed, he was. And then
Jimi Hendrix was in the Army. He was in the 101st Airborne.
there you go.
It's one of
all
the-
you need.
I am kidding, by the way.
This is
But
what-
I would prefer these things.
This is one of the reasons that entertainment is worse now, is that the people who have gotten into these industries haven't lived the lives that those in the past
Have their Hemingway
served in
moment,
the
as it were,
served in the military, did something really monumental with their life before they found their calling in the arts, right? But they've got Adam Driver. I think Adam Driver was a Marine. They've got that going for him now.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
they're-
look, there's not to say there are good people in Hollywood either. There's plenty. I know a lot of them. You got a book. Nick Searcy was in Hollywood for a long time.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Good dude.
everybody should watch Justified if you haven't seen Justified.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
He was the
But
last
don't watch
president of
Severance.
Don't watch Severance. Watch
He's
Justified.
not in that, I don't think.
No.
Adam,
he was in
Adam Scott
Justified.
is, yeah.
I'm just ragging on Severance.
You should just. Is there something like an anti-ad? Is that a thing?
Oh, but
Just keep
Make an ad to
talking
not
trash
watch
about
something?
Severance and sending them an invoice.
actually, the best thing I could do if I want to hurt the show is go into liberal circles talking about it's the best show ever and they should watch it.
That would.
Or you could just play it on your show and people would see how bad it sucks. And then
I don't need to get into all that. I was just joking, but I hate that show. And season 2 is really season 1. I give a C-. Like it's not that it's bad; it's just not good.
Yeah.
But season 2 is remarkably
I
bad.
haven't seen season 2.
Remarkably bad.
I'm not gonna watch it then.
So, spoiler alert: there's an episode that ends with a major plot development in the middle of it, and then the next episode completely erases it from happening, totally changes the subject, and then so I'm skipping through, being like, whoa. Like, I'm not in this situation where I'm watching a TV and I can't skip. So when I turn on the next episode, and I'm like, I want to know what the story is, I'm just fast forwarding, and I'm like, I look around, I'm like, guys, what just happened? Like, the episode was intense, shocking moment, high-pitched music, and then a shock. And then I'm like, whoa, next episode? Nothing. So I skip the episode. The next episode starts, nothing. And then he talks to a character and says, that thing, it's over. And I was like, what? Wow.
That's really bad writing.
Really bad writing.
Just go
Holy
rewatch
crap.
The Wire.
Yeah, The Wire's
Go
great.
rewatch The Wire.
Yeah.
The Wire's great. You can actually go participate. It's right down the road.
It literally is.
You can go participate.
It's still like that.
I started watching it. I've never seen it.
The Wire?
yeah.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard great things.
Yes.
They jumped the shark a little bit in the final season with the serial killer stuff.
I
but
stick
it was
to
still-
like
it
the
was still
first
good.
3.
Yeah. It was still good.
Yeah. Daredevil Born Again is a C- show, but considering how bad Severance is, wow, Daredevil Born Again is.
I'm 2 episodes behind. Have you gotten to the? How are you caught up?
Oh yeah.
Okay, the episode episode 3 with the guy who gets caught stealing the fiddle faddles might have been the worst. Might have been the worst writing I've ever seen on television ever. He is the least sympathetic person in the history of television.
Is he supposed to be though?
No,
think so.
I think you're supposed to sympathize with this guy who
don't think
gets
so.
caught stealing.
No, because Matt Murdock doesn't.
I don't buy that the writers are that nuanced.
I don't know. I mean,
He still
maybe.
goes and unless you're saying that the argument here is that even though he disagrees with him, he goes and pleads his case because that's his job.
Well, that's what John Adams did. Right?
Okay, so he pleads his case to this lady, and he talks about the failure.
awesome.
He talks about the failure of that was the best scene in the show. But he talks about the failures of broken windows policy and stuff like that. It's the worst writing, and the character.
I disagree.
He's the worst character. He's the worst character.
No. I didn't think it was like Lord of the Rings or anything, but so basically there's a guy, he steals 5 boxes of fiddle faddle garbage snacks. He starts complaining about how he's poor, he can't get a job, nobody wants to hire a felon, and he's hungry, so he steals. Then they lock him up again. Now he can't get welfare. Now he has no food. Now he's hungry again. The system is busted. It's not his fault, so he refused to go to prison. And Murdoch is like, you stole. You're going to jail.
It's a real liar.
Yeah.
No, but the point is, there is a way to write that character with a tiny bit of introspection that makes you feel for him. Like, okay, the system is broken. Okay, there are a lot of ways in which once you find yourself, one bad decision leads you down a path of just absolute hell that you can't control. But he doesn't have a second of introspection.
That's not what I took from it. What I took from it was there are these people who want to be serial criminals who think they're justified in doing so, and they should go to jail. And so what happens is Matt Murdock, lawyer, he goes to the prosecution, he goes, what are you giving him? And she's like, 30 days. And he's like, come on. And he's like,
That scene was great. The scene
I
with
know,
him
it was
and her, that
amazing.
was the best scene they've done in the show
he's
so
like,
far.
he wants probation. And she's like, are you joking? He's been arrested several times already for the same thing. And then you see them negotiate, and she goes, and then he finally talks her down to 10 days, and he goes, yes. And then he goes, he's like, I got you 10 days. And the guy's like, no, I ain't going to jail. I want to go to court. And then Matt Murdock is like, you stole. You're going to jail. Take your 10 days.
There's a point in which he could have been thankful for getting the 10 days, where he has a moment of self-reflection. He goes, thank you for the 10 days. He doesn't even get that.
The next episode. So you haven't watched after that?
I'm too bad. Yeah, I'm too behind.
Well, there was
I finished those two. I finished that one and the one after it. I'm not
Bank Robber one or no?
I haven't watched that one yet.
So this episode is
Vincent D'Onofrio back and everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Skinny Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, he's skinny now.
Well, he's getting fat again.
Oh, good. Good for him.
Yeah, but
Wait, wasn't he just fat in that Godfathers of Harlem thing? When did he get skinny?
Skinny is relative. He's skinnier than he was when he played the Kingpin in the Netflix
He was a big
version
boy
of
back
Daredevil.
then. Yeah.
the next episode of Daredevil, it may as well be a one-off short film, unrelated to anything.
It was that was the only one from the original set of order that they did for this series that didn't get edited or reshot in any way. So that was shot in the original run when they first started trying to make Daredevil Born Again. They scrapped everything. Episode 2 had some reshoots. Episode 5 was left completely alone. That's why it feels so different.
Well, it's a standalone.
Yes.
It's a completely standalone episode. It's just good Daredevil fun.
Yeah.
He just beats up a bunch of bad guys.
Sometimes you need
Oh,
that.
dude.
And
he shatters a guy's
It's
leg.
a palate cleanser, right?
He's fighting a bad guy, and let me just say, he knocks him down, and then the guy is leaning against a wall, and his leg is straight, and he jumps on his knee.
Oh, boy. Maybe he learned something from John Bernthal there on that one.
Well, the original Daredevil on Netflix was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of not, but this was, so I appreciated it.
See, the first 6 episodes, the first arc of the Punisher in season 2 of Daredevil is some of the best writing that they've done on television.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed
Punisher
it.
was great, but now it's Disneyfied.
Even the Punisher show wasn't really that great because the CIA, arc for that doesn't actually make sense for the character.
No.
Yeah, but what other good shows we got going on right now? We're waiting for Tulsa King, right? That show's great.
3.
It's crazy that Stallone's like 900 years old, but
He's like in his 70s and he's just jacked and.
I know, and it's the show. Have you seen Tulsa King?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
I only watched the first season. I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Also,
Yeah.
through the magic of medicine, like Dana Delaney is like aged back 10 years as well.
Well, they can reverse aging in mice now. You've seen this, I'm sure.
What I like in a show is like Sylvester Stallone's character in Tulsa King is kind of a dick, but he's kind of all right too. And
Well, that's just a guy from 25 years ago.
right. But so like he does some bad stuff, but he protects the people that work with him. And when you wrong him, he wins.
Yeah.
I like that in a show.
The anti-hero model works really well. Tony Soprano
Yeah.
worked really well, right? And Breaking Bad worked really well. Vic Mackey worked really well. Jax Teller worked really well. Anti-heroes do well.
But I don't mean just anti-hero. I like watching
He has a moral code.
right. But what I mean is he doesn't deserve you to be the bad guy to him, and when you try, he destroys you. That's what I like. I like the scene where the guy's at the bar like, "Hey man, I don't want to fight. Leave me alone." And the guy picks a fight, and then he gets crushed. And the dude's like, "I told you not to fight me." Yeah. I like those scenes where the honorable guy is like, "I'm trying to avoid the conflict here, buddy."
Yeah, like that scene early on in the when Tom Cruise played Jack Reacher, where he was like, "Remember, you wanted this."
The guys outside of the bar when
Yes.
when they worked very hard to make him look taller than
That was
Right.
because Jack Reacher in the book is 6'4", 6'5". The guy playing him now is quite a bit closer.
Right. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.